In this video, I'm going to go over the third of the 3 warm-up exercise. We've covered just following the rail, and then the second one is following the rail and putting circles in the corners. And the third one here is doing a figure 8. So can you come out and ride a figure 8? And what I've done is I've set up 2 cones and I've paced them off about 12 paces apart. And you can go a little bigger or a little smaller, just depending on what size circle you want to do, but that's a good distance. So think of 12 to 14 or 10 to 14 paces is a good space between the 2 cones. And the cones are the center of my circle. And I've set 2 poles down here on the ground between my cones. So they're halfway between. This distance that I'm from the cone is what I want to keep the whole way around on my figure 8. So as I walk and I stay this same distance, if I had a string tied to the cone and was holding it, could I keep from dragging the cone away or keep the string from touching the ground? So that's what we're looking for here as we do a figure 8. So I'm coming around and then I'm going to come through the cones. As I come through, I'm going to change the bend and go the other direction. And now I have a string attached to the cone on this side and go around. This is actually kind of a fun little thing you can do is if you've got your pole bending poles, is just put a little screw on the top and you can tie a string on it and you can ride a circle that way. That helps you. Now as I come around through, I change the bend and go off the other direction here. Why the figure 8 is such a good warm-up is you're changing the horse from a left bend to a right bend or a right bend to a left bend. And in that change of bend, the horse has to kind of rebalance himself. They have to be supple enough to go from one bend to the other. They have to be balanced enough or it's going to be a challenge for them. They're going to kind of spit and sputter or fall in and out as they make that change. So it's a great balancing exercise. It's kind of a way to prove you have your suppleness there. At the walk, it's not as big of a deal, but in a minute here we're going to pick up the trot and we're going to do it at the trot, and that's when your pieces have to be in place. So back to the 3 things, primary things we're looking for is, do I have a forward rhythm? Is the horse following my line of travel? And do I have bend in the horse's body to follow the line of travel that I'm on? So these are pretty good. And her walk's a little interrupted here and there. So I can just help her with a little life in me to say, come on, let's walk, and if there's no response, I just tap her. Now, your figure 8 also really should be 2 complete circles, not, an oblong or a straight line at a diagonal. So a lot of people, they get to this point and then they diagonal across like so over to the other side, and then it's like you're picking up the circle now. And so there's like a long straight line in between there. That's not the kind of figure 8 that I want you to ride. I want you to be riding a complete circle. It's like you have 2 circles that touch each other, and you're going to have just about 2 or 3 strides at the most, 3 strides here, right in here, that you're going straight ahead. That gives you the opportunity to change the bend from left to right, and you're doing that by rotating your shoulders from left to right or right to left. And then you're getting the change in the horse's body, the change of bend from one direction to the other direction. So as I come through, there's a straightness and change the bend and go the other way. And now I'm going to pick up the trot. And we'll do the same thing as we're trotting here. So I'm looking for a rhythm coming through, change the bend. You know, she kind of braced a bit there. And then I come around this way here, flat spot for just 2 or 3 strides, and then change the bend and come through. And ideally we want to make that change of bend right between the cones. Not before, not after, right here. And go the other way. And you can also ride more than one time on a circle. So maybe the circle isn't going very well this way. Just stay on it a few laps. Get the horse real rhythmic and balanced. And then come through, change. See, this is kind of a challenge for her. As I make the change, she kind of spits and sputters. She braces a little bit. Because she's running into herself, it's a different balance. The horse has to be real supple to go from one bend to the other bend. So I'm just staying on this circle here a few times to help her because she's a little stiffer going this way. This is better. So as I come through, change, and see if she kind of pokes her nose out, gets a little bracy. Now can I get her to soften up this way? And I'm going to stay on this circle a little bit longer, getting her to actually bend through her whole body. She's kind of stiff through her rib cage, so I'm going to help her stay out. She falls in, there she's falling out. So I shift my weight in. She's falling in, so I shift my weight out a little. There we go. And slowly change. That was nice. There was no change in rhythm that time. It was the first time she was able to do that. That's what we're looking for. Is for her to go from one bend to the other bend without any change of rhythm. It's just a smooth flow. Let's see if we can do it here. Not too bad, but it was still a little bit of an interruption. Not as bad as it was. There she kind of wants to fall out. There she's falling in, so I shift my weight out a little. I'm just staying on this circle until she's ready. Yeah. And change the bend the other direction. Coming around. And that's pretty nice. And we'll leave her with that. So it was a real nice change from one side to the other side. So those are your 3 ways of warming up your horse. So thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.